tired. But I like to do my own shopping because sometimes I don't get the right stuff. It's more cost effective. But it kind of takes a little energy drain on you after you do it for a bit.
Yeah. For one, I hate leftovers. So there's no way I could just pre-make food because I don't know what I'm going to eat tomorrow. I might want lobster or, something different. So I can't stand it. Yeah. Uh, and then I don't like going grocery shopping.
No grocery shopping?
Oh man, talk about taking it out of you. When you look at all the sad, pitiful people out there and just
Oh,
dirty and nasty, and they just piss me off every time I go to the grocery store. So I just stay out of it. So, and then cost effective, I think it's way more cost effective to actually. And I'm not a big technology person, but if I can just put it on the app, look around the kitchen, what do I need? I get it, boom, it's delivered, and then I'm not wasting my time doing it.
you know what? And I think you're correct in a lot of ways. I love Costco for whatever reason. I like shopping there, but it definitely is a drain. Rocket loves going too because I get one of those little smoothie ice creams and share it with them, and gets the string cheese. But you don't like people.
Oh, I love people.
Oh, you do.
I do, but I don't like fat nasty people kind of, you know what I mean? Like it aggravates me when you see people just, I mean, they don't take care of themselves, they don't have any pride in it, they're just walking around in their freaking pajamas, and I get we all do it, whatever, sometimes, but it's just like, and then they got, they're 400 pounds, got a whole basket of processed pre-made food crap, and then they're going to use their EBT card to pay for it. Now it just pisses me off.
Wow. Have you ever had to use an EBT card?
No.
My family did.
No, I know, like, when I was a kid, we didn't make very much money, and then, but we made just too much, you know. So I never did that. And then,
For all the listeners out there, an EBT card is what is food stamps or government assistance for food, similar to welfare, but welfare you actually get money. But with EBT cards, it's an ATM card that allows you to buy food with. You get a certain amount of money on each month. For those of you who've never experienced it, I've
so,
experienced it many times in life.
so before I sound like, and now before I sound like a total asshole, I am thankful that we live in a country that has a backup program for people to be able to go out and eat and to have food and to feed the kids. And I'm 100% for that. So I just don't think it should be a career choice.
I grew up in a family that would disagree with that. Instead of where can we get a better job, how can we make more money, it was how can we get the most out of our government assistance and the veterans check and all the things that we were getting. It was like really like from the moment I can remember, it was
Yeah,
about
and then
how can we
if
get
you
more.
work and you get a better job, they take it away, so you automatically lose whatever little bit better than you had before.
Yeah,
So,
no one in my family was interested in getting a better job, really. My mom would have jobs for short periods of time and get fired, and my stepdad had a veterans check, and then there was some also disability stuff. So it was like we were always living on money that I never really understood. Uh, I did like it the times my mom did have a job, but for most of the time she didn't. So I was like raised in a family situation that was not entrepreneur at all. I was the only entrepreneur in the family. I was like, I'm making my own money. I'm gonna go mow some lawns, wash some cars, and then I discovered babysitting. That's the easiest money ever. You get to eat and watch TV in someone's nice house and watch their kids. So yeah, I did. It's just something I had to learn on my own that if you want money, make more money, and
yeah.
then
Wow, we were so different. I've never babysat a day in my life. Yeah, I was breaking horses when I was 13 to make extra money.
dude, when I found out I could make money babysitting, I thought I had discovered the mecca, the you get paid for this. This is amazing. And sometimes they come home really drunk and the kids were happy and I did a good job, so they give me even more money. And I was just like, this is great. But I messed that job up too, dude. I messed up every job. I messed up that job by stealing.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, dude, I used to steal. I used to steal a lot. I mean, like the kind of sneaky stealing you don't think anyone's gonna notice, but damaging a mission. Tom Miller in his younger years thought it was okay to steal because they had so much and we had so little, and my parents did it. And it's just like I didn't have the values in place. I would take that back. I fucking knew it was, I knew it was wrong actually. I just did it because I thought I could get away with it and deserve to get away for it with some way. So it's just slimy, dude. I've been slimy in parts of my life where the values just weren't intact.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is we can overcome everything, right?
100%,
Yeah. Yeah.
dude. And I won't even blame my parents that I did it. I won't blame my parents for any mistake I made because
It's not their fault. You made the choice to do it, and you knew it was wrong.
100%, yeah. And because you do know, like, granted, if we keep doing the same things every day, thinking the same thoughts, believing the same way, and feeling the same way, we are going to repeat the same situation. It becomes sort of hardwired. It's in our, I call it your mind matrix, your subconscious, unconscious program. But when you go a level above those programs and those habits, we all have access to this basic knowing of right, wrong, intuition, and I had access to it.
Yeah, and then as what I think what you're trying to say is, if you ignore that long enough, then you don't even think about it.
You get really good at ignoring it. It never goes away. It just gets less quiet or less loud because what you want to do, the
Yeah.
immediate gratification. I love it. So
Yeah.
what's going to give me the high, the bump right now? What's going to give me the immediate recognition? So that was the thing, immediate gratification, man. I tend to.
So, I don't know. Did you have agenda planned for tonight, or you want me to start off with something?
Oh, I have some stuff. First
You
off,
usually do.
Oh, yeah, what's the name of the podcaster? Because I had it on my podcast when we were talking, and then I didn't save it, and so I tried to find it again. I couldn't find it again.
Let's do. Man, you put me on the spot. It's
Send it to me after this, and don't forget to read about Neville Goddard. Have you read any of that yet?
No, I've been super busy, man. I'm
Yeah.
telling you what. As soon as word kind of got out, because I've only been driving now for the last couple weeks, and my phone's been blowing up, and I've been super busy. And plus, going to therapy 3 times a week. And
Dude, I don't want to hear your story about how busy you are. I'm gonna tell you my story about how busy I am. Who cares? You read it. I'll listen to the podcast. We're both busy.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying I didn't read the book. And okay, it's an excuse.
That's better.
It's an excuse.
I like the I didn't read it yet better, and I didn't listen to the podcast yet either. So we'll both see if we do better at diving into each other's recommendations between now and next Thursday.
There we go. And it's Mike Adams' Health Ranger Report.
And it's Neville Goddard, Power of Awareness. Looks like this.
Okay.
He's a metaphysician that incorporates a lot of the Bible into his neutral spiritual teachings. It's really cool the way he does it. Everyone's saying the same thing, though.
I'm going to order it, so, yeah.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah.
All right, here's what I have on my mind. What do you really want? What is your true desire? And what anybody ever watching this, like I've enrolled 2 clients in my own program. Yay! Started building my own business again.
Awesome.
And that's the first thing I do is like, what do you really want? What do you want more of your life? What do you want less of? And most people can't tell you because 1, they haven't thought about what they really desire and what they want out of their life. And 2, they feel guilty about it. They feel like, I don't want you to judge me and think that and I've been that way too in the past where I didn't want to say, I want to make money by creating awesome information, whether it's podcasts, videos, books, but mostly by speaking on stages and saying things that are true for me that resonate with other people. That's how I want to make my living.
Or that I think a lot of people have a problem of they don't feel their worth. Like what they want, they don't deserve. They don't feel worth it.
And that,
Deep down inside, so they'll sabotage themselves to stay in that comfortable place, subconsciously.
and they
I've been
don't,
close to that a lot.
dude, that's exactly what happens. I call it the mind matrix. I love the mind matrix style because that's your subconscious, your unconscious, your conscious thinking, all the stinking thinking that keeps you stuck. Because the truth is, our desire exists from the creator, from universal source God. It's in us from that. So it's been with us forever. Like
Yeah,
it,
and if we're thinking it, then that seed was planted somewhere. So then, therefore, if we're thinking it, it should be possible. It is possible, right?
well, and by quantum mechanics, if you can even think about it, if you can visualize it in your mind, then it already exists in one of your quantum timelines. And that's some weird everything's at the same time kind of science. But with quantum
Yeah,
mechanics, the moment you can imagine it in your head, in your imagination, it exists in the quantum field. But you have
yeah,
to level up to that timeline. And timeline doesn't mean in the future or in the past. It just means becoming a different version of yourself. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna say something funny to the audience. I'm gonna go release the steamer.
well, we're professional at this vlogging stuff.
There we go. Note to self: don't cook the Instapot chicken soup right before this, because I don't know if you can hear it, but that is a loud, annoying sound. It won't stop.
Oh yeah, yeah. There we
Note to
go.
self. Another technical note.
Yeah, yeah,
So thinking is the problem. Either people don't think, they don't know how to think, they don't spend time thinking, or even worse, they keep thinking the same thoughts about what they don't want, what they don't like, what they wish wasn't the case, and they're directing their attention energy to that. Thinking is the problem.
well, and the solution,
Yes.
because you can overthink it. You can think yourself out of it. You're not good enough. You're not worthy. It'll never happen for me. Or you can do the other way and say, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do, or I'm doing this to the very best of my ability, and things will start to align. And you envision it and you put it out there. So it's thinking is not just the problem; it is also the solution.
It's 100, couldn't have said it better myself. It is the solution, always. Because desire is the highest frequency vibration energy we have access to for our consciousness. It really is. Desire is aligned with God. And then comes intention, and then it's our thoughts. But those thoughts have power, and if we're thinking about what we don't want and what we don't like, and we're complaining about this and that, or we're complaining about how long it's taking, or we're trying to figure out everything in our own head instead of turning it over to these higher sources of consciousness, it's frustrating.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
But
So
all this is energy. Like, this is now science. This isn't like woo-woo shit anymore. This is like quantum science is proving that consciousness is a thing, thoughts are a thing, emotions we already know with brain, heart-brain coherence. There's a electromagnetic field that they produce. Everything's energy.
yeah, so getting back to like we were talking about before about with the stealing, you had a problem, right? So the more you do it, and the more you do bad, or you don't do something right, or you do something right, the more it gets set into your subconscious. So when you go to open the door, you just turn the doorknob, right? You don't think, oh, I need to turn it to the right or to the left. You just turn it the way you've done it 1,000 times. Like, oh, there's a door, open it. You don't have to explain to yourself. Or when you're walking down
Same
the
with
street,
driving.
same with driving, or left foot, right foot. You don't, So that's you're not actively thinking it, but your mind is still running, telling your body exactly how to do it.
So our subconscious is a wonderful servo mechanism when we program it to do things for good, like driving, opening the door, cutting up the carrots, like I did a little earlier. But we get these subconscious programs that have been, at one time in our life, they kept us safe, like people pleasing. That's a big one. Approval seeking. And that's like, I call those your gremlins. But underneath that is your ogre, your subconscious limiting belief that's buried deep in your subconscious that says, basically, I'm not good enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
So,
not good enough.
and we all have that. I don't
Yes,
deserve this.
I don't deserve it. I'm not good enough. But we don't want to see it. We don't want to dance with that ogre, so we keep it locked in the dungeon, and it keeps producing all these offspring of self sabotage, of I'm not going to go for it, of procrastination, of lying. Oh, I was a good white liar. I white lied all the time, man. All
Yeah.
my relationships, if I thought it would make her feel happier in the moment and it wasn't going to hurt anyone, that's me justifying it, by the way. I would tell white lie after white lie. And it was just like, I felt nauseous, felt sick, but I kept doing it. It was like a habitual reaction. Did you make this mistake, Tom? Oh, no, no, not me ever. Is this going wrong in our life right now? No, no, things are, yeah, it's just like white lies and people pleasing became habitual for me. But it's energy. It becomes its own energy system.
So, and then it gets like turning the doorknob. It's so easy. You don't even think about it no more.
It's
It's in the
unconscious.
subconscious.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And that works faster than the conscious because the conscious thought you think about. You're thinking about it consciously. The subconscious conscious is your reaction.
95% of our decisions in a day are made unconsciously.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why sometimes it's best to slow down and think about it. Is this the right way? Am I sabotaging myself? Is there a better way? Like and then that's that time to think about it. Um, yeah,
This is what worked for me. Here's the cheat code. And David Baer didn't teach me this, but everyone has their version. As soon as you are thinking a thought or doing an action that feels unpleasant, and it feels unpleasant in your gut, your heart, your body, you feel it. You know it's an unpleasant, it's not true. So the first thing you do is say, well, I do. Who's thinking that? And then my brain ego says, I'm thinking that. And then I say, who am I? And then right away that thought dissipates, gone. It's like you're calling out your subconscious.
I don't disagree. Well, you're retraining it.
Well, it creates space
Yeah,
to think a thought that actually aligns with what you want.
what you want to do consciously. So if
Yeah.
you're trying to change a bad habit, you have to do that consciously. You'll continue the bad habit subconsciously or a good habit.
And it's all energy.
Yeah, yeah. You know.
Crazy topic. I'm gonna abrupt ADD topic change.
I
Okay?
like it. I like
Dude,
it.
I'm gonna cut all my hair off. I'm
Okay.
I'm gonna be like a light sharing monk.
Okay. Whatever.
All
Teach
right.
their own,
Well,
right?
yeah, I'm gonna cut it. I was thinking I need to get another haircut, man. I'm tired of getting haircuts. I'm gonna just cut it all off and see how that goes. I'm gonna cut it off myself too.
Yeah. Ashley cuts my hair. You
One of
know.
the benefits of being in a long-term committed relationship.
Yeah, yeah. One of the many.
Yeah,
One of the
there
many.
there are many benefits to it. So I went on a date, coffee with this pretty much out of my league girl physically. Like she's taller, she's buffer, she's brighter, she competes. But she was more than happy to schedule our follow-up date next week. I'm just like, okay, let's see
Yeah.
what happens.
You know. Yeah. Well, good. Good. So I want to talk business.
Talk business.
Yeah. So I think that there it's a great time to be doing business and to start a business.
Yes.
100%. And I think that we need to use our contacts and our connections and be open. And then we share business together.
Well, what are you going to share? You have to share a business with someone that has a successful business at the same level as you, or maybe help them. Otherwise, there's so many people that want to start a business, but they're not doing the first. They're not taking the risks.
Oh,
working there
no,
out.
okay. That's not what I meant. I meant between people of a like mind. We need to make sure that we're hiring and that we're using those people. We're not just always after the cheapest rates, for one. And then also, if we're in a community, then we need to be looking at it and then buying from other reputable businesses that's going to use our product. We'll use their product, whatever that is. And then kicking some of these other big global things kind of down the way. So let's just use, for example, say grocery stores, because that's where you just went to the grocery store.
Costco, the
Okay.
chief
So
of
what if you had 10 friends and you bought from Cisco or the grocery store distributor, and then we just kick the chain out, the local grocery store out of the market, and you and 10 families buy all the food at the same time at the wholesale price.
that's
And that's just one example.
that's similar to buying a cow or a pig and splitting that cow and pig amongst the several families. Like a fresh cow or pig and
Okay.
having someone butcher it, and then
No, I mean,
no.
no. It's because, so if you buy from the distributor, you're going to get the same rate, the same price that Kroger's getting or whatever.
Safeway. We call it Safeway here.
Safeway. Okay. Yeah. So, so you're going to get the same price. It's the same people that's delivering you, right? So but you got to buy in big bulk quantity. So if you share that with a group of people and you make your order every week, you've got your own grocery store going before long. And we're cutting that out. Okay. So we're cutting Safeway out. We're saving money. Now we can invest more money.
All right, let's use ground beef. No,
Well,
that's not a good one because it's perishable. Let's use
let's use a car mechanic. You want to use a car mechanic?
well,
Because,
that's not a consumable product.
well, okay, I said product. Product, I mean whatever you're selling. Okay. So we need to think as a community, how do we help each other's businesses grow?
So wouldn't that be just using the mechanic down the street instead of going to the chain across town because it's cheaper?
Well, maybe it's somebody in our like a local friend group, business group that we come up with that are all like-minded, that are all trying to change, that believe in bigger things. You
So it's
know,
almost
it,
bringing back the barter system. Like, dude, I have all this stuff edited for you. Boom, boom, boom. I need my carburetor changed in exchange, and so he does what he's good at, and I do what I'm good at for him, and we exchange it.
yeah, you have a gym and you can say, hey, I'll give you a year's membership to change out my carburetor. Right now, we we just made a deal between each other. It's going to be good business. We're still going to communicate, and we didn't have to pay taxes on that either because now it's a barter system. Nobody's tracking that. They like it when that money changes hands every time because they taxing it, they taxing it, they taxing it.
Right.
Out of
Is that
out of a
what?
dollar, think about it. When they make a dollar, a paper dollar, and that's all it is. It's a paper dollar, and then you go to the store and you hand it over, and I don't know, here it's like 10% tax, so you pay 10 cents every time that dollar changes hands. They charge a dime. So how many dimes do they make? The government that made that paper dollar, and the lifespan of that dollar changing hands.
So you're basically saying get rid of the dollar.
And do, like you said, do a barter system
Oh,
with
I
a
don't think this is a good idea yet.
with a
I think it's great on theoretically. I just don't think you're going to get groups of people willing to sacrifice the convenience of using the dollar and paying the 10 cents, even though it makes all the sense in the world financially.
You're right. But I think if you had 100 people in a community,
Yeah.
okay,
I bet there's communities that exist. I think they call them hippie communities.
well, I mean, and I mean, we could do it in our own towns where we live, and say
With
start
nice houses, nice clothes, good stuff, nice cars, and lots of money because we're not. Because, dude, you're right. 10 purchases with that dollar is all to the government.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we're making ourselves so much more efficient within each other, and we're relying on each other.
Dude, have you heard the Amish people? Have you heard of them?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they do,
Uh,
but they all look poor.
Kind of, but I'm not talking about being Amish. I'm just talking like regular business owners. We live our lives. If we got to buy something outside, but we really try to bump each other businesses. We could start with 10 people in each town. Can you imagine if we did 10 people in 10 people in 100 towns, cities across America? And we're all using our talents, and somebody's in our group and they're a realtor. Okay, great. And we could trade the realty work out. And then another guy is a carpenter, and he can say, okay, well, I'll remodel the next house you got. I'll put tile in there, or I'll repaint it. And then the realtor advertises the house, and it comes out to the same kind of dollar value, except now we know who we're going to use, and we're moving it around, and we're all trading with each other. What if you're a computer engineer and somebody wants a dadgum website built?
Dude, it's a utopia of cooperation. But why do
Yes,
you think no one's doing it? Is it lack of organization? Is it fear? Is it lack of leadership? Like, why aren't people, and why not pay each other directly in cash without reporting it to the government? Is that illegal?
yes.
But if I'm giving it to you as a gift,
I
because
guess Trump did just pass the no tips thing. So what we ought to all do is just go in there and change our paychecks over to a
no
tip.
tips,
No tax on tips.
okay, there it is.
So I don't know why. I don't have all the answers. But I'm saying if we just all helped each other, like-minded people like you and I, different walks of life, different sets of business, different place in life, but we become a group that is very set on everybody trying their best to help each other out, keeping in mind, like, hey, I know Sarah. Sarah does really good at websites, and I know Jim, and he's a great accountant, and I know Tom, and he's a freaking lawyer, and this Tom owns a fitness center, and then every time you hear like, oh, fitness center, oh yeah, you need to talk to Tom. Here's his number, and now we're just trading, and we're all like-minded people. So, is what I'm getting at. If we do that, and we have metaphysics and talking about big ideas, and it gives us an outlet because not very many people talk this way. They don't even have a conversation.
Right.
We're thinking big and thinking outside the box, right? And then that gives us a spot and a platform that we can say, man, I've been really meditating on what my next business venture, what I was going to do. What do you think? Oh, that's great, man. Tell me about it, And then we're all just kind of working together. I'm not saying huge groups, but the bigger, the better, because then everybody, instead of saying like normal people, like, oh, well, you just got there because of, I don't know, you won the lottery, you ripped people off, you slept with everybody, or whatever. You're saying, man, good for you. I'm glad to see your growth.
Dude, what I like about this is that instead of our worth being determined by the physical resources we have, the amount of money we have, we're able to help each other with the physical part. And the bigger focus becomes the metaphysical, the spiritual alignment, the higher source cause. But I still want
Right.
to be
And then if you get a hive mind of 10 people,
a what?
like the hive mind, you got 10 people all saying, like, man, I really like what Tom's doing, and I see he's working hard, and I'm going to do everything I can to just help him out in any way I just can and get his business up and off the ground. Or say, should you S corp or LLC? And then somebody in there is going to say, oh yeah. And then now you got 10 people thinking about a higher purpose, a higher power, just for Tom's fitness center getting off the ground and going. And then that's going to put it out there in the universe, but 10 times stronger than one, right? Or am I wrong?
Oh, I don't think anything. You are 100% right in the cooperation, bringing more alignment and power to it. You're 100% right in taking out the middleman of paying taxes and paying each other. And any mission is going to move faster when there's people supporting it. I do think that we're going to still have to have money to pay outside agencies and pay bills and utilities and stuff
100%.
like that.
And the whole idea of doing business is to make money. I'm not talking about just
But we're
always
helping
trade.
each other's business make more money. And whenever your business wins, my business wins because it's just a whole different mindset. It's like deciding to be cooperative and not competitive with your family, your network connection group.
Yeah, yeah, and then maybe like, oh, you're in construction. Well, I only can take on this size construction job. Well, instead of somebody in our group that has the same mindset, we could say, you know what, hey brother, let's partner together, and then we can take on a huge construction job with two construction companies,
And
and then
instead of
that
you
boosts.
paying someone to do the cement, I'll do the cement, you'll do this, and we'll just get paid directly, and we take another payment
And then I
to
can
get out of
pay
the
you
way.
out of that. But now we're sharing instead of becoming uh, competition. We're growing each other.
How long have you had this idea in your head? Because you've talked about stuff referencing to this before.
I don't know. I just see that they like to keep us divided in everything.
When you
So it
say
doesn't matter.
yeah, they, who are you talking about?
Uh,
The central banks who you're talking about. I'll tell you right now, motherfuckers.
well, it's not just the central banks, but it's your people that already have power, right? So people that have already consolidated everything, or the big construction company in your town, or the big Gold's Gym. They wouldn't want you to open up a new gym right next door to them. Where I'm saying, I think we ought to, more competition is better. But it's not even competition at that point because now we're all saying, let's help each other. And we
Why
all
don't we
make
get
money
that
together.
Gold's Gym and get them in the network too?
Yeah, right.
So what? How do we decide who's in the network and who's not?
I don't know. I guess I mean, if you're willing to, I don't know. I'm just saying, instead of always just fighting with each other in business specifically, that's what I'm talking about. But even in life, if we could cooperate together, we
Dude,
would move
that
so
is
much further and so much faster.
there is 100% truth there. It's funny that money is the biggest obstacle to just overall cooperation. Money.
And jealousy, and if somebody goes and buys a new Mercedes, what they do, who well, it shouldn't be that way. Like, good for them. I'll be
Yeah,
there.
100%. Gosh,
You
and
know,
it's so much better for our spirit and soul when we're able to celebrate what they did well instead of compare. Oh, dude, Jack thinking, judging, analyzing, comparing, and labeling. Those things take you right out of alignment.
so I guess if this idea was like big and it caught on, we'd write a little book of rules or something, and then in each city you could have like, a committee, and then you could decide on who's in your group and who's not, and the committee would decide then to make sure that they're a right fit and they align with the ideas. But it's not about competition; it's about bringing everybody up, referring that person, and then speaking about the power of the brain, the
Oh,
power of
okay.
positive thinking.
Here's the deal. Because you're onto something bigger than I even realized. Because it's not just the work we're doing, the money we're making. By me just thinking positive thoughts about you right now or during the week and thinking, I am rooting for Josh on whatever work he does this week. I am rooting for him to do well, to be happy, to smile, to rise to the occasion and excel. That's quantum entanglement. That's the observer effect. and it will impact you positively. And it impacts me positively just by deliberately
That's what I'm getting
thinking,
at. There
yes,
you go.
now that's a metaphysical spiritual network
Yeah.
that if people are able to consciously choose how they're going to direct their thoughts, their energy, their intentions, but not all selfishly, they're actually sending it out to others.
Yeah. Because you want the others to be that are in this group to to I want the very best for you and everybody I meet. But if you
Yeah,
had 10
dude.
people rooting for you in your corner saying like, man, you're doing such a great job, or man, I'm sorry you're having a bad day. Tomorrow will be better. Or something great is going to come your way. The butterfly effect is going to go out. And then you go from 10 people to 100 people to 1,000 people, and we're all going to grow and be bigger together.
Dude, this is I call it light sharing. It's when you choose to live in your own light, but you share it with everybody instead of trying to use it to be above them. And
Right.
you just continuously try to level up your light. That way you can share it, not the martyr type sharing it, but like, I'm going to get rich. I will have a healthy, happy life. I want Josh to, and all the people that I come in contact with as well. You keep sending out that light, and God, universe, source, keeps giving you more of it to send out. Dude,
Yeah. And
this
so,
is like,
and I'm thinking specifically business owners or managers, kind of people that man, if we had a group of 10 people to 100 people or 1,000 people, and we were all want the very best for each other, and in business and in life, and we're there to support. And so we're not only just talking about these great ideas and how the mind works and subconscious and not and all that stuff, we're actually kind of holding each other accountable for it.
and here's the thing. The situation you just described exists amongst like healers, sometimes even teachers, sometimes counselors, like the touchy feely type professions. And I mean, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But the higher you go up, this is my theory. The higher you go up on the income brackets, when you get to entrepreneurs who are doing 1 million a month, they don't usually have a spiritual heart-centered thought. They're more like, what do I do to stay ahead of the Joneses? What do I do to stay ahead of the cooperation? But the people with the money have more influence on our world. So if we can have that sort of mentality with high-level entrepreneurs and business owners, it's a trickle-down effect.
Correct. And then actually the highest owners or earners, they have meetings all the time where they get together. Think about it. They have summits though, right? They had the TED Talks and they talk about ideas. They share their ideas. They give their ideas to their friends, to their companies.
But people pay to go to them most of the time, and they're paying to go there so they can get something they don't have, so they can be better than their peer or the people they're doing. I feel like there's a really cooperative mentality in
Exactly.
entrepreneurship across the board. I,
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. So they're paying to go there because they want to be part of it. They want to feel it,
they want to feel
right?
what it feels like to be around that successful person's energy,
Yes. Yes.
and they want to be
So,
better than that person someday.
sure, we all want to be better every day. I mean, we should, right?
Better than we are today, but not better. I don't want to be better than you anymore.
Well, just because I'm better at you in one thing, you're probably better than me in something else. So,
What I'm saying is 2 years ago, 3 years ago, if I met you, I right away would think, how can I be better than him? If he's better than me in something, how can I be better? And I would judge myself by comparing me to you or whoever I was around. But that's the opposite of how can I be my best and also watch them be better at the same time.
and then we can both be better.
Yeah, and you know what? My life has improved since meeting
And
you.
and as I grow in business and life and everything, I want you to come with me and I want to bring you up. I don't want to leave you behind. I hope you think the same about me.
Dude, I mean, I just realized this. Like, we met, what, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
How is your life? Would you say your life's the same, improved, or worse since then?
Oh, it's improved.
Me too. And I
Yeah.
bet you it has something to do with this new source of energy coming your way that's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope the same for you. I look forward to
100%.
our weekly meeting, you
So
know?
just getting a group of people, if all they do is send positive intentions to the other business and their family, what's going on, that's going to make everybody get better.
So is what the world teaches us is having conversations like you and I are having is is weak, or silly or stupid or that doesn't exist, but it does.
It does. It 100% does.
They want us to watch, about what movie star did what last night or whatever, what dress they were wearing, that what football game was playing. That's what they want us concerned about.
Because we're not thinking about what we really want.
Correct.
Something you and I have in common is we both want to elevate consciousness, income, impact, and not only find ways to become wealthy, but also help others find ways to become wealthy. And
Yeah.
that's a very big common thread you and I had from day one.
Yeah.
And there's more of us out
And
there.
then also, like I'm saying, in normal life, just talking to people, you can't have these conversations.
Yeah, I can't not have these conversations anymore. I cannot do the simple, like, let's just get through a talk, the small talk. It's like I'm unable to do it.
Well, because you can do, yeah, the small talk is what I'm talking about. You can't talk to anybody about metaphysics or the third eye or your subconscious, or why you're thinking certain thoughts or how those affect, or just sit there and meditate about what you want and see it and how does that affect your day or what you're going to do. So, because you just seem silly because those people haven't even opened up their brains yet.
I agree. And I think that more and more people are remembering their true selves and whatever words they call it, they know it feels different when you're allowing your true self. And I think it's just the people who remember being courageous enough, brave enough to take the scorn, take the ridicule, take whatever, and just keep elevating it. And don't put on a different face because you're around your in-laws who don't believe in any energy you can't see. Just keep doing you, and just eventually everyone will come around.
Or they no, everyone won't.
Oh, maybe not in this lifetime, Josh, but they'll have other chances.
Everyone won't. So, you know, I just think it would be so awesome if we had groups of people that allowed us to have more conversations like this, um, and getting other thoughts, but we're all positive and we're all rooting for each other and saying like, you know, going to a motivational speak or listening to motivational speeches while you're working out or as you're going to sleep or meditating or different sound waves. It's not crazy.
It's a refusal to let your mind go to the habitual numbing negativity, worry, and stress, but learning the skills and practicing the skills to stay in a high vibration frequency so your life gets better and
Yeah.
you help everybody in your network's life get better.
Yeah. And so people pay thousands of dollars to travel across the country, stay in hotels so they can be part of a great weekend of motivational speaking, right? Man, can you imagine if you had a group like that or just in our podcast where you could do this every Thursday night and then redo for the week and think about it?
And it became your new default. It
Yeah.
became your default.
You don't even think about it.
It
Yeah.
became wired into your subconscious, just like worry, doubt, and stress. And you, just like it's easy to open a door, it's easy to switch on your positive consciousness instead of diving into the usual depression, anxiety, stress, overwhelm, addiction.
Yeah, I got to read a new book. I need to find my new favorite motivational speaker. What if it's the people that you see every day? That's your new motivational speaker. What if it's your circle of friends that
And
is
what if it's a
reminding you?
conversation you're about to have because you're aligned consciously and you're just speaking your truth without fear of being judged, and you're just letting your light out in the best way you can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you can have conversations about your light and your speaking and love and hate, or try to keep that out of it. But you won't have to go across the country, because you're meeting with like-minded people that are saying that there is a something that we want to align, that we need to think. Maybe we need to meditate for 10 minutes every day, you know?
And you know what? There's simple things like quiet our mind for 10 minutes that will help us get in touch with our consciousness, that no one teaches us that that's mandatory. That's a mandatory thing to get control or at least awareness of your own mind. Like they
Yeah.
don't teach us how to think in schools.
No, no. You know what they do teach us, though? We don't even think about psychologically, never even thought about. But they've taught us all how to be slaves, because when the light turns red, what do?
You stop?
Anybody tell you to do that? You don't even think about it, do you?
Well, the DMV driving test says that.
Right. But now your brain doesn't even think about it. So we're being controlled by three little lights every time we pass the corner. In
But
our
if we weren't
subconscious,
controlled,
psychologically.
if there wasn't any order to that, there'd be a lot of intersection collisions.
Yeah. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, because that is out there in front of us every day, we don't even think about it.
Don't even think about it. Don't even second guess anymore. You're right.
So
And paying taxes is
psychologically,
another
our
thing.
brain sees red, and you think,
Stop.
yeah,
Green, go. Green, good. Red, danger.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Just
So,
something to think about. How to grow this and
what are you
keep
going
it
to do
going.
about it? That's the question.
Well, I think you and I are in the start of it.
We're starting it.
We're
We're
starting it, and we've been starting
welcoming
it.
others. Because, dude, had no idea upon seeing you the first time that you cared about your level of consciousness. You cared about being in a vibration of truth and positivity and connection. But after talking with you for a while, I felt the vibration of positivity and connection. And so to assume someone's not there is crazy talk. If you're not going to be yourself around people, you'll never know. So it's like
Yeah,
a certain amount of vulnerability and courage, but all it takes is speaking your truth and doing it with the cliche of love and light instead of fear and doubt and judgment.
100%. Yeah. So I think this is something. This is just an idea that I've been thinking about the last few days to continue, so that we're not just a couple of podcasters or bloggers that are just pretty much bullshitting with each other.
Well, everything's energy.
Sir.
Everything's energy.
Yeah.
What you're talking about is the energy we don't see with our eyes being very important, and we can use it to help each other right here, right now.
Correct.
As long as
Correct.
you know what your intentions are and what you're moving towards, me sending you that positive energy helps you move to it faster.
Yeah. Yeah. And the more people you have in a room with that same energy, the more impact that energy is going to have.
And
You're going to
even
be
if
running
you do
on
it,
way higher volts.
even if you do it in a Zoom room, you
Yeah.
can be miles away, thousands of miles away, but if you do it and you actually are directing your intentions for somebody else's good, dude, that's quantum mechanics in a nutshell.
Yeah.
You accelerate their progress.
So if we could just talk to 100 people or 10 people every time we do this, it's just going to keep growing and vibing and moving, and the butterfly effect kicks off.
Dude,
And
it
it hopefully
literally
does
could
for
be
everybody.
the intention network. When someone states their intention, we all just say Joey's here, and Joey wants to start a business and stop working at Burger King. And Joey's going to do a business where he's creating websites for people because he loves it and he's good at it and wants to do it. So we send Joey our call positive vibes, and Joey suddenly gets a higher level of consciousness, and he's able to push past his own fears, his own reservations, and he moves the needle forward. Yeah, dude, that's how it works.
Yeah. And so I'll just throw it out there. If anybody wants to talk business or anything or whatever, they can totally just call me. Um,
Everything's business.
yeah, everything in life is business.
We have one like. Thank you, Laura. Laura came back.
Oh,
And
good. Thank you.
I think that us getting the word out, because this is a big deal, that we are the energy corrallers, the intention corrallers of getting it together and pointing it towards each other so we can help each other grow cooperatively, collectively, but in a kick-ass way where everybody gets rich,
Yeah, and healthy and
healthy, happy, joyful,
happy, and it doesn't matter.
impactful, where we're spreading joy with like people can feel that presence when we're there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dude,
and
I
we're
love
and
it.
we're all here to help each other, and we want each other to do good and great and awesome things in this world.
Yeah, we are shining our light brighter so we can shine that light on others and they can do the same.
Yeah,
No matter what kind of bullshit you've gone through.
there you go. Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
my man. Well, we're at 6:05. We started a little late. We are going a little later. We did it on Facebook this time. I'll upload this to YouTube as well. And hey, if you're watching this and it's even slightly intriguing to you, like it, tell your friends, follow us on all the stuff because this only works. We have more energy.
100%. And it will work, and it's gonna happen.
Oh, wait, let me rewind the tape. This works faster the sooner we get your energy involved.
Yeah, the more energy, the faster it works.
Yeah, it's really not will it work or not. It's how the acceleration of it depends on our ability to attract more energy sooner and your ability to be brave enough. And I'm talking to you, Mr. Viewer, Miss Viewer. You're brave enough to think a different way, feel a different way, and live a whole different quality of life.
And this is a place where you can come and talk about it and ask questions.
And raise your quality of life.
Yes.
Dude, we're gonna watch these videos a year from now. We're gonna say, look, remember that? Look at this now. It's
so
never.
dumb.
Dude, we're consistent, we're courageous, and we're true. So that's all. That's a good place to start.
Yeah.
All right, man. Lots of love to you. Tell Ashley I said hi, and enjoy your week. And I'm looking forward to our next one.
Yep, sounds good. Tell you later.
Purpose Agenda.
There it is.
Talk to you later, man.